a book that taps into the elements of Christianity, but it's actually not a Christian book. Guardians of the Seal, as written by Tunde Leye, is the book I will be reviewing today. By the way, which one looks better? With the glasses or without the glasses? Alright, let's get into the book. Now, this is a fantasy fiction as written by Tunde Leye, as I said earlier. Tunde Leye is the author of 2 books and is also a blogger and is the CEO of TLS Media House in Lagos. Overall, this is a very good book and it's actually very enjoyable, with the synopsis saying life changes when we least expect it to. On the day Imani was supposed to get the crown jewel of her meteoric rise, she encountered a world she never imagined was there. Now, that synopsis is not actually enough to depict all that went on in the book. It started from the beginning, like the beginning of the Bible story, the Garden of Eden, when God came down to create man and all that in his image and all that. Now, that's where the book started from, and it went on to depict the kingdom of hell with Lucifer and his minions, how gloomy hell was, and taking those elements as the foundation. Then it moved to the prologue where it discussed a character named Tara. She's a scientist and she's into all these genetics and all these biological science, and she was into experiments that would help man, like that would help women reproduce without the help of men. So that was where the prologue started, and it depicted her calling her boss, telling her that she had a breakthrough, but that she tested the experiment on herself and she was pregnant without the help of any man. They called it autogamous reproduction in the novel. Now, that was where the prologue ended, and it now moved to the main chapters. But the main chapters were sort of a throwback to what led up to the prologue. So it depicted her life with her husband, where she was narrating the ordeal which she had with her husband. The husband was always beating her, and it continued like that because she had that same experience with her father, who always beat her mother and always beat her too. So she kind of had bitter experiences with men. Like, she's one of the people that should be saying men are actually scum. The father beat the mother, the father beat her, then she got married again, and the husband named Maxwell beat her. So it kind of created this hatred for men, like so much hatred that she was willing to kill the man. No, not just the man in this case, she was willing to kill all men. Now, that was the anger that another character named Lamela. Lamela is a demon sent to Earth in the form of a human being. So Lamela now tapped into that anger of hers and wanted to use that to convince her to continue the research that will clear men from the face of the earth. That went on, and she was in this lab for 2 years, and she was working. Then that was now what led back to the prologue. After working for 2 years in the lab to kill all men and make women able to reproduce without the help of men. So after working in the lab for 2 years, it now led back to the prologue, which told us that she tested the experiment on herself and she was now pregnant. So coming back to that point where she tested the experiment on herself, and she was now arrested and put in prison. So she was in that prison for 4 months, and she devised her escape and wanted to escape by all means. Her science experiment was growing inside her. A baby was growing inside her, actually. I wonder how that was possible. Autogamous reproduction. Anyway, so she devised escape plans for 4 months, and when the demons slept, they made a mistake. The person that was supposed to watch her made a mistake, and she was out of the prison. So she was running. Then Angel Gabriel had to come down to rescue her. Yeah, Angel Gabriel came down. Yeah. So Angel Gabriel came down and rescued her, took her somewhere, and she was safe. She gave birth. That was where the first part of the book ended. Now, don't get confused. Actually, in the book there are three types of characters. There are humans, there is demons, and there are guardians. Then there are angels and other heavenly bodies and the devil itself. So the demons, they came down, sent by the devil to come down, and they were in human form, same as the guardians, but the guardians were different. The demons were actually sent down from hell to dwell amongst men in the form of men, but the guardians, it's the selection process for who is a guardian was actually different. They were actually protecting a seal, and according to the story, the seal was passed down from Jacob in the Bible. So it was passed down. Jacob was the first guardian of the seal. Then coming to modern Earth now, about 2050 or so, there was now four guardians of the seal. Now the selection process of the guardians was actually way different from how the demons came down and all that. So the first part of the book made us see a guardian that was chosen. The guy was chosen as a guardian. Alex is his name. He was chosen as a guardian, and he had a brother, but the first part of the book was actually running two faces at once. It was running two people's lives at once. The first one was Tara, who is the scientist. Then the other life that was run was Tony. Tony is a guy, starting from the beginning of the book, you will feel like Tony is one of the main characters, but he's actually not. It was just like a pawn, just to distract readers from where the book is actually going. The book is actually about Tara and a child. So Tony actually Tony was turning in between choosing to go with the demons or to go with the guardians. The funny thing is, he did not know they were demons. He did not know there was guardians. The human beings on earth did not know that demons and spiritual beings actually existed with them. So it's kind of like, I actually had questions with that how, okay, the narrator of the story did not say if the human beings knew or not. It did not say that. It's just introduced us to the characters, and of course it's fantasy. We have to live with the fact that there are demons, spiritual forces, and all that. So Tony made a mistake and went with the demons, but the brother of Tony, who is Alex, is a guardian. Now Alex, the guardian, was torn between using his power to rescue his brother, or actually remaining undercover, because they were undercover, they could not blow their cover, or remaining undercover and actually saving humanity in the long run. Well, you would not expect that he would leave his brother to die, but to my surprise, the brother died. Yeah, Tony actually died, and it kind of made me feel like, okay, where is this novel going? But that was the fun part, because normally you would expect that he would use his power to save his brother. He has the power, and he could kill all the demons. Actually, he was a guardian. Guardians were that powerful. They could kill all the demons, and they could even battle the devil himself. But he did not do that, and he let his brother die. Like, I was like, he let his brother die. So that was the story of Tony's story. Tony's story just ended that way. Alex's story continued later in the book anyways. Then Tara, the scientist, she escaped from prison, like I said earlier, and Angel Gabriel came down, saved her, and took her somewhere safe. So that was where the first part of the book ended, even though they did not refer to it as the first part of the book, but I saw it as the first part of the book because there was a change in the main character, like in the protagonist that we were introduced to. We now had a new protagonist, and a 28 years jump to the future, 28 years later, and Tara had now given birth to the science project in her stomach, and the girl was called Imani. Now that's the Imani that is introduced in the synopsis. So Imani is a media mogul and very rich, tech oriented, and she built this product that was interfacing with the brain and the internet, like serve as the interface of the brain and the internet, so that you don't even need to press your phone before you access information on the internet. You can just be thinking about it, and the device is called an interfacer. So the interfacer will just be accessing the internet on your behalf, and pretty cool actually. If you could have like, if I want to browse, how do I make money online? I don't need to first type it on Google or anything. My brain is browsing directly. Sort of cool. Science fiction. So that's actually one highlight of the book. The way it's blended modernity, fantasy, science fiction, and spirituality, and blending all those elements of literature together. The book still did not feel sort of overwhelming. It did not feel overwhelming. It's something you can flow with, even though it's talking about like four different genres all at once. That actually made sense. Now the child was born, Imani, and she was meant to be the daughter of the seed of the woman. Yeah, the seed of the woman. She was meant to be the seed of the woman, and she had an admirer, so the guy that liked her. Guys, the guy was so persistent, and he actually got her. Actually, that's so guys that are win ladies, don't give up. That was a lighter note. So the name of the guy is Lucan. Now Lucan also, as the story progressed, he was meant to be a guardian, but the girl is actually destined to be the seed of the woman. That's what the novel called it, the seed of the woman. The seed of the woman is sort of a redeemer, sort of like when the world was at war, heaven fighting hell to regain control and all that. So the seed of the woman is like the determining factor. I don't know if you understand that. She's the center of it all, but she did not know. She did not even believe in heaven, hell, or spirituality or anything. She was a moralist and just kept living her life as she wanted. Even Lucan, the guy that liked her, did not know he was meant to be a guardian or anything. He just liked someone, and he got her. They got talking online through the interfacer that they could communicate, and all that. The interfacer was the device, just like a smartphone. Then they liked each other, they met, and the story sort of progressed fast, and we saw that Lucan was already becoming a guardian. He was having dreams, and he had to become the guardian, and he had to accept the reality. He met Angel Gabriel, and he met the other guardians of the seal. Yeah, Lucan became a guardian because Alex was dead. Alex later died. No, not Alex. One of the guardians later died. Farida. Yeah, Farida later died. Then Lucan had to evolve to replace Farida. Now, so it continued, and soon we started having the demons from hell. They wanted to have a rite procession, a ritual called the bringing. That's the name of the ritual. Now the bringing, they had to choose one human being, and unknowingly to them they chose Imani as the human being that they were going to use for the sacrifice. They did not even know that she was the seed of the woman that was recorded in the holy books and all that. So they chose her, and while they were like, they captured her and they wanted to kill her and sacrifice her to Lucifer and all that, Lucan could not watch. Even though it was not meant to show his power on earth, he had to save the woman he loved. So he went there, destroyed everybody, destroyed all the demons, saved the woman, and soon the whole of hellfire knew that, okay, so this is the guardian. They lured him, they set a trap for him, they captured the girl and wanted him to come over and to save the girl. The other guardian said it was a bad idea because Alex had to leave. If you remember Alex from the beginning of the novel, he had to leave his brother to let him die so that he will not blow his cover. But this guy Lucan is ready to go out to save his love and blowing the cover of every other person. So he actually went. Alex tried to stop him, but he actually went, and it resulted in a fight. The guardians fighting, the war started. That was the beginning of the war, and so many, like, what I really enjoyed about the war was the guardians fighting the demons, and the way the narrator described the scenes. It actually felt like you are in the scene of the war, and you were just seeing everything live on screen, and you could imagine, you could pick up the sounds, the clanking of the swords, how they flew into the sky and all that. It was actually very interesting, a very descriptive war it was. Then Imani was later captured. Leodin became the fourth. Then it resulted in the war entirely, and they had to go to Garden of Eden where it all started again. The war moved to Garden of Eden where it all started, and the war just continued, and it got to the final fight where Lucifer was now on ground to actually fight. The Angel Gabriel and Angel Michael that were now around, they could not fight the demon because it was not in their power to fight Lucifer. It had to be the guardian, Lucan, and the seed of the woman, who is Imani. They had to be the ones to rise up and just fight the fight, and it was actually very cool. And it all ended there where they defeated Lucifer, and the world was free again. And so it's actually, that's why I said it's not a Christian book, because it's unlike the book of the likes of Francine Rivers that would involve you teaching about morals. I've not read so much Francine Rivers books, so that's why it's not a Christian book to me. It's sort of a spiritual that dwells on spirituality, but it's actually not dwelling on spirituality. It dwells on Christianity, but it's actually not Christianity. It's sort of like a blend, a bridging the gap where many people, even though they are not Christians, non-Christian, they believe in a more superior power, a more higher power, and I think that's all that this book is actually about. It's not a Christian book that is meant to teach you that thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not. No, it's not about that. So that's what I actually liked about the book. Tapping elements from Christianity, heaven, hell, demons, angels, Angel Michael, Jacob, the Garden of Eden, the rivers in the Garden of Eden, describing everything and making you have a sense that you could actually have been in Eden. Where it was describing hell, you would feel like, okay, you can draw hell on a piece of paper. It was very descriptive. I love that about the book. It was very descriptive. Now the fight was over, and everything was settled, and yeah, that's that about the whole story. It's if you are expecting to have a main protagonist, no, there's no main protagonist in the book. There's no main protagonist. It's just a concept. You only have a main concept in the book, and that is the fact that creation, God created heaven and earth, talked about where Lucifer rebelled, and Lucifer was trying all means to get back to heaven to reclaim the throne. That's the whole concept. Now, to stop him from reclaiming the throne, God was not going to fight him himself. It had to be the seed of the woman that was going to defeat the devil. That's all. And a well-written book, Guidance of the Seal. I think Tunde has written another book, Golden Sand. Yeah. Guidance of the Seal, according to the introduction, actually took him 5 years to write. And it's actually worth it. Trust me. If this took 5 years to write, it's a good one. I would actually recommend this. So if you later buy this book, let me know what you feel about the book, and for more book review videos, kindly subscribe to my channel, and like this post, share with your friends, and enjoy the rest of the quarantine. Forgive my grown face. I don't go out, so my hair is all grown. It's been over 5 weeks that I've gone out to actually do anything. Alright, till I see you next time, I remain Oludamala. Peace.